Good morning, students. Today we are going to explain the important part of the catalyst. And this is really important for our board examination, that is modern adsorption theory. In the definition of catalyst, we have learned that there is no change in mass and chemical composition of the catalyst during or after the chemical reaction. So this theory explains why the catalyst remains unchanged in mass and chemical composition at the end of a chemical reaction and is effective even in small quantities. However, it does not explain the action of catalytic promoters and catalytic poisons. So there are two. Another topic is here also, promoters and poisons. Promoters are substances that enhance the activity of a catalyst, whereas poison is that substance which decreases the activity of a catalyst. For example, in Haber's process, in previous class, we have seen production of ammonia, where nitrogen gas combines chemically with hydrogen gas. We use iron and molybdenum as catalysts. That is, molybdenum here acts as a promoter, whereas iron is a catalyst. So two different elements we are using here, iron and molybdenum in the manufacture of ammonia in Haber's process. One is iron, that is catalyst, and another one is molybdenum, that is a promoter. So this theory doesn't explain the action of catalytic promoters and catalytic action of poison. Now the modern theory is explained, or you can say mechanism of the modern theory involves following steps. Step number one, these all are shown in the diagram given. All steps are shown. So one by one we are explaining here. Step one is a diffusion of reactants to the surface of the catalyst. Number two is adsorption of reactant molecules on the surface of the catalyst. So this is the second step which is shown in the diagram. Step three is occurrence of chemical reaction through formation of an intermediate on the surface of the catalyst. It is also shown in the diagram, intermediate is being formed. That is, in second step, we see A and B reactants are being connected with the catalyst or surface of the catalyst one by one. And after being connected, they themselves react with each other, which is clearly shown by dotted line. And in intermediate, we see now reactants A and B are finally connected through a chemical bond. So in fourth step, we see a dotted line is given there that shows desorption of the reactants, which are now no longer reactants. They have become product and they are being desorbed from the surface of the catalyst, which is clearly shown in the above diagram. In step 5, diffusion of the reaction products, that is diffusion of reaction products away from the catalyst surface. That is the removal, you can say, in diagram. In final step, you just see A and B both are chemically connected as a final product, and they are finally removed from the surface of the chemical substance. So in final product, we are getting two, that is A connected with B, and another one is the same form of catalyst as we have seen in first step. So this is the very clear and easiest way of representing how a catalyst is not undergoing any change in its chemical composition and its quantity during a chemical reaction. So this is the well explanation of all about the unchange in the or no change in the mass and chemical composition. One more thing I would like to draw your attention here, the role of poison. It can be also explained by this theory by assuming that the poison, if present, are preferentially adsorbed on the catalyst surface, thereby hindering the adsorption of reactant molecules. I mean to say, if some poison is employed there during the process, simultaneously it is adsorbed on the surface of the catalyst, where it hinders the more adsorption of the reacting molecules. As a result, it shows that activity of catalyst is lowered, is slowed down. So with the help of this theory, we can explain the activity of or role of poison. Now we are going to start another more important topic, that is important feature of solid catalysts. Though there is one question in the year 2020 board examination, that is shape selective catalyst, which was a guest question last year. So it was already asked in the board examination of the year 2020. Maybe repeated, so repeat is there observed many times. So there are three important points. Number one is activity. Activity of a catalyst depends upon the strength of chemisorption to the large extent. An explanation is catalyst can accelerate the rate of reaction to a very large extent. In some cases, the rates of reactants have been found to increase by the extent of 10 to the power 10 times by the use of a catalyst. For example, when hydrogen gas is oxidized in the presence of a platinum as a catalyst, we see the rate of oxidation of hydrogen becomes much higher, or you can say the mixture reacts with explosion, violent explosion, to form water. Another one more example is also given in the notes, that is in oxidation of hydrogen, we see that when platinum is utilized as a catalyst, the rate of reaction becomes much higher, rather explosion takes place there. So another point is selectivity of a catalyst. It is the ability of the catalyst to direct a reaction to produce a particular product. That is, you can say reactants will remain same, but if you change a catalyst, product must be different. If it happens, then we can say that this is only because of selectivity of a catalyst. The heading selectivity of a catalyst clearly means that when we select a catalyst with respect to the product to be obtained, the reactants may be same. As for example, when carbon monoxide gas reacts with hydrogen gas in the presence of nickel as a catalyst, the two products we are obtaining here, methane as well as H2O. In the same reaction, that is when carbon monoxide gas reacts with hydrogen gas, when copper along with zinc oxide and chromium oxide taken as catalyst, the product is now different. That is, product is methanol. In the same reaction again, That is, when carbon monoxide reacts with hydrogen gas in the presence of copper as a catalyst, the product is again different here, that is methanol, formaldehyde. So it has become crystal clear from the above examples that the action of the catalyst is highly selective in nature. That is, a given catalyst can catalyze a particular reaction only, not all the reactions. It also means that the catalyst which catalyze a reaction may fail to catalyze another reaction. Now the last topic, which I will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.